The news from the toss: Guyana captain Shemaine Campbell won the toss and will bowl first. Windward Islands batters are already in the middle. Homer and looks like young Zyder James having an opportunity at the top of the order. And bowling for Guyana will be the experienced Tremaine Smart. So number 72, you cannot miss that figure as well of Zyder James. And we're ready for the final match in this year's tournament. With me is Clyde Butts from Guyana West Indies off spinner as we watch the first ball from Smart. And runs already on the board for the Windward Islands. Hello, Clyde. Good night and welcome to the final match.
Good night to you, John Ramsing. Certainly, it's been an exciting tournament. Yes, one would say that probably we didn't see the sort of runs that we needed throughout the tournament until this afternoon when Jamaica put on that big score. But certainly we've had some exciting cricket and we had some good cricket. I think the bowlers more dominate than the batters, but certainly it's been very interesting and a very interesting competition as well.
Smart gets it right. A new opening pair for the Windward Islands once again, with the young and exciting Zyder James getting her opportunity at the top of the order.
I think it could be a good move as well, as she may not be as probably as aggressive or as aggressive intent like some of the bigger hitters of the ball, but she certainly works the ball around. She plays smart cricket, and maybe her batting that 50 overs and the rest of the players batting around her could be a good platform. As this is short and wide outside the off stump, cracked away and just behind point on the offside, and that's 4 runs, 4 good-looking runs, first run off the bat. That's 4 good-looking runs, bad delivery from Tremaine Smart.
Oh, very wide and short, begging to be hit. And Homer, short of runs, came on Homer, but will not miss out on that. That's a gift, and you'll take that any day, any night. The forced boundary in over number 1, so usually very economical at the start of the innings. This time Smart going for some runs. Wide down the leg side, wide outside the off stump, now a low full toss. This new ball not being controlled well by the veteran.
No, it's not. She's normally very tight. She was wicket to wicket, fairly straight. And that's how she has been over the years, but this time not really getting it right as yet. That's a better delivery. Just on or about off stump, making the batter looking to drive through the offside. Doesn't time it as she plays it back up the pitch to the bowler.
Looks as if she took some pace off of that one as well. But it's a good positive start for the Windward Islands. I'll give you the Windward Islands team after this delivery from Smart. Windward Islands tonight: Afi Fletcher, captain; Janila Glasgow, Malika Edward, Kimon Homer, Jafina Joseph, Edlin Turton, wicketkeeper; Stacey Ann Adams, Zyder James, Pearl Etienne, Kiana Joseph, and Karina Noel. Missing out tonight: Akira Peters, Ashleen Edward, and Tracy Byron.
Better delivery from Smart, just slightly short of a length, but straight, right on target. So she's tightened up as the over went on and finishes very well.
Yeah. Last 4 deliveries, dot balls. So the end of the first over, Guyana winning the toss and bowling first, 5 without loss. Windwards sent in. And just to give you the Guyana side: Shemaine Campbell, captain; Shabika Gajnabi, Katana Mentor; Shanita Grimond, Flafiana Millington; Kaisia Schultz, Tremaine Smart, Mandy Mangru, Ashmini Munisar, Lashana Toussaint, and a debut for Kumari Prasad, the Asukibian. Missing out tonight are forgettings: Sharika Campbell and injured Sherry-Ann Fraser.
It's a pity about Sherry-Ann Fraser, though, because I'm sure you would want to see her play this game to start getting back into that fitness. So when the 50 over comes, she's ready. But she's injured, and somebody else gets a chance, and one hopes that Prasad can grab that chance and make use of it.
So after consistent performances in the inter-county tournament, the Escriba captain is rewarded with a debut tonight in the regional tournament. But it's Millington in her second game who begins. Millington used to be bowling the new ball. This time she's running into this little breeze we have here tonight in absolutely perfect conditions for cricket.
Outside the off stump again. Not really getting any sort of turn. It's a new ball, just looking to probably drift it into the left-hander. Just going straight on with the arm. This time it's short. Goes for the cut, got the bottom edge. Dropping way short of the slip fielder who dives across. Save probably a couple of runs.
So Mandy Mangro at slip. Last night in the game against the Leeward Islands, she took 2 breathtaking catches off the same bowling of Fluffiana Millington.
Short, pushed out on the offside, unable to beat the field. This is good tight fielding though. There's got a slip, a backward pointer, cover, short extra cover, and a mid-off, all in the circle, all trying to save that one. And on the leg side is a long on, short mid-wicket, a backward square, and a mid-wicket on the boundary.
So this is good tight stuff from Millington. 5 scoreless deliveries so far. We always talk about a finish. So Millington starts with a maiden. After 2 overs, Windward Island sent in 5 without loss.
Yeah, very good over from Middleton. Just bowling outside the off stump, just making the batter look to punch through the offside, not giving her the room to cut. And that's a good sign, good tight bowling. I think that's what you need to do when you've got the new ball. You try and bowl as straight as possible, not much room. You're not going to get the ball to really spin a lot. And you need to be tight with your line and your length.
So 1 slip in Mandy Mangro as Smart will continue from the far end, the northern end of the ground. A nice confident drive again from Homer. Homer got the boundary in the last over of Smart. So she's riding on some confidence.
Yeah, and I think Smart just going a little too full at the moment. Maybe looking to see if the ball is going to swing and swing into the right-handers, but just a little too full. She needs to just pull that length back a little.
We said that the tournament came alive yesterday after some not so hot matches before. The weather might have contributed, but yesterday we saw some exciting games, and today we saw some gripping stuff from the teams earlier. The match this morning, Trinidad and Tobago against defending champions Barbados.
Would you say that was an upset?
No. I think the better team won. Well, because they're the defending champions, then you may want to say it's an upset. And the form team as well, Barbados.
Well bowled. This is just outside the off stump, going past the outside edge. There was a shout from the keeper, more so than the bowler, for caught behind. But umpires unmoved.
Umpire Nigel Duguid from Guyana. And with him is umpire Nankumar Shiv Sankar, as you can see on the replay there. The ball, slight away movement from the outside edge after pitching. This time, exaggerated away movement, well bowled.
Better length again. I think once she's pulled that length back, she's looked a totally different bowler. And this time, this one left the right hand and bounced as well, carrying nicely through to the wicket keeper. Now that's a beautiful delivery.
So earlier today we saw Trinidad and Tobago beating Barbados, the previously unbeaten side. That's why you may want to say it's an upset. You may be tempted to say it's an upset.
I don't think Trinidad and Tobago was playing that good at cricket before as well. I think you've got to give credit where credit is due. I think over the years they've always been one of the teams to beat. But this year they just looked a little bit off. Just look a little bit off. So it's nice to know that they've come back good towards the end of the tournament.
You want to say saving their best for last because that was a clinical performance. They looked really good. In the second game of the day, Jamaica beat the Leeward Islands. Leeward Islands remain unbeaten, and Jamaica have done everything in their power to win.
Leeward Islands remain unbeaten?
Winless, sorry. Winless, my friend. Winless. That's a nice delivery to finish Smart's second over. She conceded 5 in her first. This is a maiden. So after 3, the Windwards 5 without loss.
Another a very good over from Tremaine Smart, pulling her length back a little in this over, but not really giving no sort of width. And that last delivery actually drifted back in when we saw her bowling the away swingers a few deliveries. So that's very good bowling, intelligent bowling from Smart, and she's showing her experience.
Let's have a look at it as well, because even the wicket keeper in Campbell had to move sharply to her left to take it. So a maiden. So
2 maiden overs in a row.
Correct. Oh.
And that could just be putting a little bit of pressure on the young Zayda James as well, because if you're batting and 2 maidens bowl and you're in the power play, I think that tends to put a little bit more pressure on the batters. She's
chipped it
forward, the outer edge found, just dropping between 2 fielders. Well bowled by Millington, slowing that one up a little. She was looking to probably work it a little bit on the onside, looking for that single. Got the outer edge, outer half of the bat, and went in the air between the backward point and the cover, and they were able to get a run.
Psychological advantage to Millington. Zayda James looked really well yesterday, almost took it home for her side against Trinidad and Tobago.
That was a really nice innings. Nice to see a young player coming to the fore in this competition. I think we have been speaking about it. Where are the new players? Well, here is one. I'm sure she'll be around for a long time if she continues to improve the way how she has been going at the moment.
She missed the first 2 matches, and so far in the tournament she is the second leading run scorer for her side. Just edged away, but not carrying to hand by to the first slip, Mangru. Again, Millington causing troubles for the opener.
Yeah, I think that drift, right arm off spinner bowling with a new ball, you're going to get that little drift, and I think that's what's causing some problems with both batters at the moment. Outside the off stump again, going with the arm, not playing this time.
So like I said, Zayda James, second leading run scorer for her side, behind captain Afi Fletcher.
This is swept away just in front of square. They're going to get one only.
So 4 overs gone. The Windward Islands 7 without loss.
Tight bowling here by both bowlers, not giving the batters any room to play their shots. It'd be interesting to see now how the experience bowler is going to bowl to the inexperienced left-hander at this time. I think this is going to be very interesting. I paused just now because I thought they were going to have a change of bowling. It was interesting to see how Smart goes. Well, it's not Zayda who's facing. Homer is back on strike.
I was saying today that Jamaica would have done everything in their powers to ensure that they win their final game against the Leeward Islands handsomely and put themselves in a position to perhaps take the title from Barbados. Net run rate separating those 2 teams with 4 wins each from 5 matches. Barbados and Jamaica. Trinidad and Tobago, they won their 5th match today. So after the opening loss, then the abandoned game to Guyana. 3 consecutive wins, right? So they won their 5th of the tournament. 3rd consecutive match, Trinidad and Tobago.
And Trinidad and Tobago may be thinking, well, ours was the only game that rained out. And whether they could have beaten Guyana or not, no one would know. But certainly you could have had 4 teams on the same amount of points.
That's so true. So Trinidad and Tobago 14 points, 2 behind Jamaica and Barbados. Guyana 6 points before tonight. Windward Islands 4 points before tonight. The Leeward Islands no points, and they will not add to that because that's the end of their campaign. So Guyana can actually add points to go to 10. The Windward Islands can add 4 and go to 8. So they're playing for 4th spot really, Guyana and the Windward Islands tonight.
Some pride involved, yeah. And for personal, I would get for personal gains as well, because I'm sure there are players who still want to establish themselves or to re-establish themselves as competitors at this level.
So that's the first ball from the experienced Smart to the inexperienced James.
Looking to work it on, out on the leg side, hit on the tie pad.
But she's a fighter. I like the attitude of Zeta James.
She times the ball well as well. I was looking at her knocking up this afternoon at the side there with the coach giving her some throwdowns, and she seems to be get her feet moving nicely and stroking those balls nicely into the cover region. She's back looking for that square cut. Just misses it as it bounced a little higher probably than she expected and going through to the wicket keeper.
Third man in Munisar is right back on the boundary. One slip, backward point, a straightish cover, extra cover, and mid-off. That's the offside field. Mid-off, sorry, mid-on, mid-wicket and a fine leg on the boundary.
And she's working it out on the offside, and they go through for a very quick single. That was well judged. That was a well judged single as she was pushing out, got the outer half of the bat, went to backward point, and they got there in the end very comfortable.
Quick work from Mangru could not prevent that single. So they're trying to rotate the strike. 2 singles in the over so far. Down towards the end of the 5th over. Smart in her 3rd. None for 7. Conceded 5 in her opening over. Came back nicely. So a single quickly taken again. So good running between the wicket, but Guyana not able to hit the woodwork as yet. And that's the end of 5 overs. Smart 3 overs, none for 8. And Windwards after 5, 10 without loss.
And if you had to bet, you would say that you would definitely say that Guyana has had a very good first 5 overs. They've kept things fairly tight. I think apart from the first over that Smart bowled when she bowled a wide and a wide outside the off stump that was put away for 4. They've certainly bowled well together. Kept things very tight, not giving the batters any sort of room. In the meantime, the batters of late are starting to look for those cheeky singles. And I think once they keep on doing that consistently, that's fine. But if they just have that little misunderstanding, they need to keep that little understanding going if they're going to continue. As I say, good evening to you, Matthew Kisoon, and how are you this evening?
Good evening, Clyde. Good evening to viewers all across the Caribbean region and the world at large. Yes, a lot to play for, the 2 sides. It's still cricket, T20 cricket. It's first-class regional cricket amongst the ladies. And why not? Guyana placed at number 4 before this game. The Windwards at number 5. So it's not about the position anymore. It's about playing for pride, performing well, showing that you want to play cricket. It's good to see ladies cricket back in action in the Caribbean. Caught behind. That was coming. Plafiana Millington is an excellent bowler. She kept a good line and length and has removed Kimoni Homer. She's gone. Back to the pavilion she will walk. It's now 10 for 1 in over number 6.
Well, she's been plugging away at that off-stump line, just probably outside off-stump. This one was a little straighter. And batsman looking to really work that one on the onside, looking for that single. You know, the pressure is on your face. You've been in there for the first 5 over. The score, you look at the score, it's just 10. You've got to decide to try and keep rotating that strike. And I think that pressure is what brought about her downfall, because she was looking to play across the line of a delivery that was straight outside the off-stump.
So you look at runs, there's a stifling in terms of runs being scored. Zeta James sent to open for the Windwards, and the captain coming out now. You've got to say that from a Windward standpoint, it's just Fletcher and Etienne with a lot of experience for the Windwards, as against the Guyana side that has quite a number of players who have a lot of experience. And it's a good battle, it's a good contest. The Windwards have played good cricket throughout the tournament. Their batting has let them down in a couple of the games, but then in the last 2 matches they begun to pick up a bit in the batting department. Their bowling has always been on top, and their fielding has been good as well. But Guyana winning the toss and asking the Windwards to take for a strike is a good move, very good move.
It's a short cutaway. Oh, off the outer edge of the bat, and it went flying past the slip, and that's gone into the boundary for 4. Short, a little wide outside the off stump as well. As Fletcher was going back, probably looking to hit that little squarer. Went off the outer half of the bat, flew down to third man, and she's got 4, so she's off the mark right away.
Afi Fletcher is very experienced, and she's been playing for a while for the Windwards. She's got the experience, and she's played a couple of nice knocks in this tournament so far. I think they will depend on her a lot to give Windwards a good total here.
Looking to work this one on the onside, unable to get a single, as this is much straighter, much fuller, and fairly tight.
Millington 1 for 6 in her third over.
That one certainly bounced. That was a delivery that bounced. Afi Fletcher was looking to hit that one again, probably through backward point. It bounced on her, beat the bat. The keeper had to take it above shoulder height. I mean, the keeper is not that tall, but certainly that was a lot of bounce there from Fluffiana Millington. So well bowled again. She which in that over. Yes, she was hit for 4, but it was a edgy. Was an edge pass, a slip position down to the boundary for 4. So not another good over from Millington. Well, it's not the over. It's still another delivery to bowl. That's how everybody was walking around there just now. That's the over. So there's got another delivery to go.
So Sharika Campbell left out, and Kumari Prasad from Mexico gets a game.
I think the umpires are now checking, and it was actually over. They're now going to call over, is it? Well, it still seems to be a little... Oh, no, they're going to bowl the next delivery again, so... I'm not sure.
But our
At this
score
time, what was
says
happening?
5.5 overs, 14 for 1. So probably, yes, final delivery left.
Short again outside the off stump, cutting it away in the air, past backward point, and she's going to get 2. Little lucky there, probably for it not to have gone to hand, but it was a little outside the off stump. She was probably looking to hit it down, got the top edge, and went past the backward point to her left, and they were able to get 2.
Yes, that was a diving effort from Mentor at point. Couldn't get to the ball, and it went away for 2 runs. 6 overs gone, 16 for 1.
And Guyana would certainly think that they've won the power play here this evening. For 6 over, you win the toss and you decided to field, and you only give away 16 runs for 1 wicket in 6 overs. You would be thinking, well, we've started well. We need to continue in the same vein.
So the Windwards batting has been under pressure throughout the tournament, just like the Leewards as well. But the Windwards would have done better if you compare the two sides.
Schultz has taken over from Smart. First delivery outside off stump.
And they've done their homework against Zayda James, because they're not giving her the room to play those lovely shots she's played in the tournament so far. Just 2 from 12 for her so far.
This one is wide outside the off stump. Umpire Nigel Juggett signals wide.
Very attractive left-handed batter, Zayda James. And a very valuable players we get ready for the 50-over tournament, which starts on Thursday. That's
full toss, swung away, out to deep mid wicket. You're just gonna get a single though. Low full toss, outside off stump, hitting across the line, hit it well though. Was able to get a single.
field changes around for the right-hander. Slipping a third man inside the 30-yard circle. Backward point cover, extra cover. Mid-off, straight. Moving a little to her left. Then you've got mid-on. Mid-wicket on the boundary and square leg.
That was a very cheeky single, isn't it? Ball just hit out on the onside of the pitch by Offie Fletcher. She was called for a single by Zeta James, who actually got to her in fairly easy, but Fletcher was struggling to get to the other side as Campbell, who was one of those quick wicket keepers, was quickly around picking up and throwing to the bowler's end, but she didn't hit the stump. This is wide outside the off stump. Zeta James looking to cut, misses it. Goes through to the wicketkeeper. Wide signal by Nigel Duguid.
Umpires Duguid and Shiv Sankar officiating. The reserve umpire Moses Rampal. And you've got to study players. If you've got a player in a side that's performing well and you're going to play against them, you've got to know the strengths and weaknesses of players. That's how you bowl to them. Good delivery. She nibbled at it outside the off stump, taken by the keeper. 7 overs gone here. Guyana winning the toss and inviting the Windwards to bat. 20 for the loss of 1.
Yeah, an over from Schultz where she kept the balls outside the off stump, making the left-hander look to cut at her with a ring of fielders on the offside. I think that's a good line, good area to bowl, keeping it very tight. Change of bowling. Grimman is taken over from Middleton. Middleton has finished 3 overs. This is going straight through outside the off stump. Offie Fletcher looking to come forward and probably work it on the onside. He's beaten outside the off stump. This time she's giving that one a little bit more air. Let's slow it up a little, giving it air. Fletcher coming on the front foot and just working it on the onside.
Yes, Grimman is a good cricketer. Very steady player. Good all-rounder. But the Windwards would need Fletcher to stay there. Fletcher and Zeta James would be the 2 best batters in the side. There's still Kiana Joseph, who can hit the ball hard.
I don't know if you need them to stay there. You need them to start scoring. Because, this is 7.4 overs and you've only got 21. 21 for 1. You certainly has to start scoring.
Well, one would hope the longer they stay, they would score a lot of runs. The runs will come for the Windwards.
I mean, mind you, it's been good, very good bowling from the Guyana bowlers. They've bowled pretty well. Good tight gripping stuff, not giving any bad deliveries. We did see one bad delivery, I think, since Guyana start. Was wide outside the off stump from Smart.
That was well bowled and well played by Zeta James. 8 overs completed. The Windward Islands 21 for 1.
Well, that projected score does not read well for the Windward Islands, does it? What it says, 53? I think they would need to get much more than that if they're going to really give themselves a chance of winning this game.
They're on 4 points. Guyana on 6. Barbados being beaten by Trinidad and Tobago today. And that gripping match yesterday, the Trinidad won by 1 wicket against the Windwards, the same side as batting. Quick return coming in from mid-off. They get the single. Big drive from Fletcher all along the ground. The captain. And you look at that batting lineup and you see, well, Glasgow didn't open. It's Zeta James and Homer who opened. And you've got Edward, they've got Joseph, Etienne, Adams, the wicketkeeper Turton. And of course, coming down the line, the bowlers. And you've got Guyana Joseph, who's a good all-round cricketer as well.
Driving to a delivery that's pitched up outside off stump. Unable to beat the field. Good looking shot, but unable to beat the short extra cover. Doesn't get a run. Well bowled again by Schultz, taking some pace off of that last delivery, forcing the batsman to defend out on the offside. This is good stuff. Good bowling.
Well, they've kept her tight. Key player, 3 from 20.
This time she's looking to sweep a delivery that's pitched up, maybe. Just, whether it was just going down the leg side or just pitching outside off stump. You just have to wait and see, but certainly pressure. I think the pressure is building. Yeah, I think that was going down leg side.
And you're not going to mess with umpire Nigel Duguid at all. He's excellent. Excellent umpire.
Slower, looking for the big drive outside the off stump. It goes through to the wicket keeper who fails to get, and it comes down. They're going to get 2. 2. Oh, there must have been a little inside edge onto that one, as the umpire does not signal. That would have been a very difficult catch, actually, because that kept very low towards the keeper. And maybe even if she had gotten it, it would have been on the ground.
It did. It kept very low. No chance at all for Campbell there.
It's a short outside the off stump, looking to cut away out on the offside. Doesn't get a touch. And that, I think the thing here that has me with Zeta James yesterday, she was hitting those balls nicely. She just seems to be struggling to find her touch outside the off stump today. And that's the difference one day can make sometimes. Eh?
That's true.
Maybe she just need to get to hit one of them and things would start falling into place. But she's just struggling a little. Probably looking to hit them too hard as well.
9 overs gone, 24 for 1. You look at her stats and you see 5 from 23. That's not the Zeta James we've seen so far in the few matches that she has played. So the Guyanese have kept it tight to her. They've bowled very well to Zeta James. They've restricted her stroke play, even though she's attempted to play some shots, not getting the ball to pierce the gaps. But it's important that she stays there and begins to... and they've picked up the ones here and there, the twos. A couple of runs taken that were very cheeky. Down the track, Fletcher. Down to long on wide. Gajnabi's there. They come back for... In fact, they just got 1 for that shot. Gajnabi is a good fielder. She's got a good arm. 25 for 1 in the 10th over.
I think maybe Afi Fletcher's thinking, well, let's get to the break. 10th overs, it's going to be finishing soon. And then we can start rethinking and probably look to go after the ball in a little bit more. See, they're looking to drive that one outside the off stump, not timing it again. I think she is trying it a little too hard. She's looking to more or less play hard shots rather than work the ball around like she was doing yesterday.
So Grimman in our second over. And Smart 3 overs for 8. Millington 3 overs, 1 for 8. Schultz 2 overs for 7 runs. Just giving you some bowling figures as we get to the halfway mark. Outside the off stump. 1 delivery left to complete 10 overs, 25 for 1.
And you would definitely say that Guyana has had the better of the two sides going into the break. Eh?
Looking again to play a forcing shot through the offside. Bounced away into the offside behind the stumps. They get a single. 10 overs have been completed. It's 26 for 1. And we'll take a break. When we come back, let's see how the Windwards can apply themselves to put Guyana under pressure. They're 26 for 1 at the break.
Welcome back to Providence. And we're back with the action as well. Zeta James on 6. Afi Fletcher, her captain, on 10. 26 for the loss of 1. 10 overs gone. That's the halfway stage of the Windward Islands innings after they were sent in by Guyana. This is their 5th and final round match in this round robin tournament. The T20 Blaze. The CG Insurance Women's T20 Blaze. Schultz continues and she starts on the line of the leg stump to Zeta. Zeta not able to capitalize on a loose delivery. She has faced now 28 deliveries and is stuck on 6.
She struggled, but she struggled simply because of good bowling from the Guyana girls. They've kept it tight to her. Good line, good lengths. She hasn't been able to put the balls away, especially the bad deliveries. Caught a ball! That's beautiful! Schultz has done the work, removing a young batter who has shown good talent in the last 2 games. Zeta James, the young lady, is gone. And what a struggle it has been for her. 6 from 27 balls. The Windwards now in a bit of trouble now. Of course, not much on the tins for them after 10 overs. They're 26 for 2.
Check 1, 2. Right, so we're, as you can see, we're getting some that was wonderful piece of bowling and fielding to her own bowling, and that's Kaisia Schultz picking up her first wicket, and James caught and bowled, like you said, 6 for 28. And Schultz, her good tournament continues, and she's going to be bowling to the new batter for the Windward Islands. And that new batter is Stacey Ann Adams, right-handed batter as well. So here is Schultz. Oh, that was outside the off stump, wide signal by umpire Duguid. But there we saw the batter following that ball. It was very wide, but she was committed to the drive, missed it.
And that last wicket, they kept Zayda James under pressure. The Guyana side knows that she's a good young cricketer. She's batted well so far in a couple of games, and they were able to pick up that wicket. That's what pressure can do to any batter, and that's why you've got to keep your focus. You know that she's a good batter. She can begin to tick the scoreboard over for the Windwards, but it wasn't to be. Excellent cotton bowl by Kaisia Schultz.
In the air as well, gone! 2 in the over, that's Adams. After 2 deliveries, holding out to extra cover, where Tremaine Smart took a very simple catch. You can close your eyes and open it twice, and then take that catch. It was that easy, and Stacey and Adams will have to make that long walk back to the pavilion after 2 deliveries caught by Smart at extra cover off the bowling of Schultz, and the Windward Islands sinking further, 27 for the loss of 3.
This is the back half of the Windwards batting. They would have known that the first 10 overs was poor in terms of runs on the tins for them. 26 after 60 legal balls. Not good at all. Coming out now after the break, they had to come out with a plan. And the game plan is, here, we've got to push on. We've got to get runs. And in the process, in attempting to score quickly now, the Guyana bowling pressure on the 2 batters, Zayda James first, and now Adams. 2 quick wickets. So the Guyanese are rampant in the second half of the innings so far.
So 2 wickets to Schultz. Before this match, she was 12th in the overall standings of wickets with 5 scalps. Now she has 7 overall. Down the track is a new batter. Looks like Joseph. Guyana Joseph gets off the mark immediately. A nice, confident, powerful drive to extra cover. And Guyana is off the mark. So 2 wickets in the over. Good over after the water break.
Beautiful over. 2 wickets for Schultz. 2 for 9 from what? She's got a final delivery coming up to complete her 3rd over. 2 for 9 so far.
Very impressive from the partition. In the air again, but this time in the cover, in the gap. Fielder down at extra cover on the boundary, comes off the boundary and sends the return. That's Lashana Toussaint. So a single to end the 11th over. Windward Islands 29 for 3. Fletcher's there on 11, but she needs support.
Make that 2 for 10 for Schultz so far.
And look at this dismissal. Young Zayda James facing up to Kaisia Schultz. This was the 2nd wicket to go down. Nice flighted delivery on the line of middle and off, and driving powerfully but back up the track and into the safe hands of Schultz.
That was well flighted, and it was driven hard to Schultz. Got both hands down.
That's a nice shot to a short delivery at the start of a new over from Grimmon, but yet again, just a single. So Fletcher, the leading run scorer for the Windward Islands by some miles, 70 runs before this match, gets just a single. She has been doing it alone. She got some assistance in the last 2 matches from the 18-year-old Zayda James.
That's right.
But the rest of the batting not giving her the support, and because of that, the Windward Islands not getting the runs they need for this, for me, good bowling attack to defend.
I quite agree with that. And this girl batting now, the left-hander here, Guyana Joseph, is very promising. She hits the ball hard, but she doesn't stick around for long periods for the Windwards, but she hits the ball hard. She's a Powerful hit of the ball, the left-hander. Has picked up a number of wickets as well for the Windwards, so she's had a good tournament, more so with the ball in hand. Short, banged away, brilliant feeling. Brilliant feeling at cover, and that's Mentor, the Berbecian. She's from West Berbice and practices a lot, loves her cricket, and that was excellent work at cover to keep Guyana Joseph on strike. Pressure.
Round the wicket, flighted delivery again. And slight misfield, but no damage done. And just a few spectators in the National Stadium tonight, somewhere around. But it sounds as if we have a half capacity. Lots of support for the home team. And that's very good. Start-stop situation between the batters, and they will eventually... And there's a direct hit, and she's gone! Excellent work again from the Guyana outfielders, resulting in the wicket of Guyana Joseph. Run out for one, and we can have a look on the replay, and we'll see that they had a start-stop situation. Joseph played the ball to cover, start-stop, start-stop. Eventually, the direct hit came in from the cover fielder, and she was not even close to that crease, and sent on her way by umpire Nankumar Shiv Sankar, the school teacher, who was in the perfect position. Grimman as well was trying to go back behind the stump in the approved fashion to take the return. She was not needed. The ball hit the middle stump when you had just maybe 1.5 stump to aim at. And excellent work from the cover fielder in, once again, your girl, Katana Mentor.
Brilliant by Mentor. Look, the Guyana feeling has been very good. They've kept it tight, the bowlers, and they've been backed up well by the fielders. So it's been good all-round cricket from the Guyana side in the field.
New batter has made her way into the middle. That's Malaika Edward. Tall young lady. In the air, but Kumari Prasad was too straight. And that was going to run away. Close to the boundary at mid-wicket. Stop again. So indecision in the running. And eventually they will come back and complete 3 runs. So lots of work to do by Gajda be on the boundary. And 3 runs, the end result. 33 now for 4 after 12 overs.
Yes, brilliance by the Guyanese in the fielding department and in terms of wickets columns for the bowlers so far being used. Millington picked up 1. Schultz has got 2 under her belt. And with 30 for 4, and with that run out, that has certainly put the Windwards way back, because Guyana Joseph has the ability to hit the ball very hard, and she has gone via the run out route.
Schultz starts a new over, and once again we see the batter driving hard back to her. She knocks it down, but is a bit uncomfortable taking it somewhere on the foot. She's now into her final over, the left-arm spinner from Bartica. 3.1 overs so far. 13 dot balls. 2 for 10 left-arm spinner. And her family usually come to the National Stadium to support her. So lots of support for Kaisia Schultz. Lots of support for Mandy Manguru as well. And I'm sure the entire Guyana contingent will be pleased with the home support generally. Schultz in her final over. Bowling to the captain of the Windward Islands. She comes round the wicket. Nice high action. So Fletcher again rotating the strike. And Malaika Edward will take strike. Edward looked good one of the earlier matches without getting runs. Her stroke play was elegant. She was running. The other person runs very well. She seems to have good technique, but not getting the production that is necessary. So she's there. She has a lot of time in the context of this game. 7 overs to go after this one. So she'd want to be a good partner to Fletcher. This time she sets off for her first run. She's off the mark.
You know that last dismissal, the run out, if you're going to hesitate between the wickets, it really costs you. and it really cost Guyana Joseph there. You've got to be positive. You either go for the run, take the chance, but if you're going to stop, and then, you know, that hesitation in between is what cost her wicket, and the direct return as well.
It was just a slight hesitation. When she started with the momentum, she stopped, then had to start again. That's the end of, no, it's not the end of the over. There's a rotation in the strike. So the field changing over. Still in the 13th over, 36 for the loss of 4 wickets. Schultz towards the back end of her spell. There's Edward half forward. You can see she's low on confidence now, not stretching long forward and getting to the pitch of the delivery, but half committing. She's a tall girl, Edward. Edging, appeal for a caught behind, she's gone! Schultz has her 3rd wicket at the end of her 4th over. So that's the end of Kaisia Schultz for the night. But she has done her work, picking up 3 for 13. And there is Edward, as we were saying, low on confidence, caught behind for 1. And the Windward Islands, 36 for 5 after 13.
Brilliant, brilliant bowling from Schultz. She has really done the job from a Guyana standpoint with ball in hand. She has set up the game nicely. Where I think for those who are watching and observing carefully, it's difficult to see how this game can get away from Guyana at this stage. That was brilliant, just outside the off stump.
It was a wide delivery. She was chasing it, just trying to get back to ball, and eventually got the edge, healthy edge, and the wicketkeeper went up, and that's the end of that. 3 for 13 from 4 overs.
How can you stop the brilliance of Shemaine Campbell behind the stumps? A lot of experience, a wealth of experience. The captain leading her charge as well, and really came up with a nice catch. 13 overs gone, 36 for 5.
So Schultz with 3 wickets in this match, now 8 in the tournament. This one is pulled away by Fletcher. Slight misfeeling, and they're looking for the single again, so indecision in the running. But eventually they will get there. Jafina Joseph, the new batter. Yet again, we see indecision in the running, not running purposeful, as Grimmond now will complete her spell of 4 overs, 13 dot balls now, and this is her 4th and final over.
Schultz 4 overs, 3 for 12. 13, I beg your pardon. You couldn't ask for better. That's what the doctors ordered for the left-hand spinner.
Full toss, dispatched, beautiful shot from Afi Fletcher. No need, in fact, that's Joseph, the new batter, getting off the mark. That's a gift, a loose delivery, and she will take that. 4 runs, well played.
Any day you've got to take that. Your team is on the back foot in terms of runs. You're in over number 14. And when you get such a juicy delivery, you've got to put it away. She found the gap. Many times when full tosses come to batters, they hit it straight to fielders. This time she was able to find the gap beautifully and picked up a lovely boundary.
So there, before that delivery, just 2 fielders were on the boundary, long on and deep mid wicket. Now a fielder goes to deep extra cover on the boundary, sweeping. So a single now, that fielder comes into play. Kaisia Schultz. So just 1 this time. Jafina Joseph. Maybe this is the partner Fletcher was looking for. She just had a bat right through to the end with her captain. So Schultz now with 3 wickets before this 5. Total 8 in the tournament. Quick single again. Chance for run out.
Yes, the return from Mandy Mangru there was a little bit high to Campbell. She would have had to do a lot of work to really effect a run out there.
Yes, as you can see, high return indeed, and Campbell had to go high and come down. By then, Jafina Joseph got home.
But the spinners have done the job for Guyana.
Again.
And of course, one cannot forget the bowling of Tremaine Smart. She's been good in the tournament, very steady, dead on target. Unfortunately, Cherry Ann Fraser not able to play due to injury. Has bowled well too.
Chance for a run out again. Quick leg by being taken. And the return comes in, but takes Joseph on the body. Leg by signal by umpire Shiv Sankar. So that's the end of Grimmond for the night as well. So that's the end of 14 overs. Windward Islands 44 for 5.
Orva Giddens would have played in that first match and didn't play again. Cherry Ann Fraser would have played in a couple of those matches and then picked up that injury to her right knee. But one of the good bowlers for Guyana, good all-round cricketer. A good cricketer in the making. Constant work and training, developing herself, her fitness. Good cricketer. And I think she's been preserved now for the 50-over tournament. She needs to be able to play in the 50-over tournament. And Guyana would need her.
Ashmini Munisar will replace Schultz, who's finished her spell of bowling. Schultz, 4 overs, 3 for 13. And Grimmond also finishing her work for the night. 4 overs, none for 14. So Munisar, right time off spin. Starts with a short delivery, and this is banged away. Runs for Joseph again. Deep backward of square. And that's a good shot to a bad delivery. Total now on to 48 for 5 at the start of over number 15, as you can see on the replay.
That's a savage shot that was played with disdain. Just pulled that around backward of square for 4. Good power in the shot.
It was outside the off stump, but it was that short, and the batter had a lot of time to go back and just wait on it. And lots of bottom hand in the shot. So Munisar, not the start she's looking for. There's Joseph capitalizing. So the Guyana's given a debut to Kumari Prasad. She's a right arm seamer. So that's a seam option for Guyana if needs be.
Kept low. Nicely taken by Campbell. If need be. But the spinners have done the work so far. And now with Munisar coming on, she's bowled well too in the tournament.
Low full toss. Good feeling to her own bowling.
Tidied up by Schultz at mid-off. Unable to get the run. And then you've also got Gajnabi, who hasn't bowled in this match as well.
Right. That's a short but quick delivery. A little bit of extra bounce as well. So good work from Casey Schultz, like I was mentioning. So she's now joint second in the most wickets for the tournament. 8, along with Ali Allen of Barbados. Just one behind Shanika Bruce. This one is swept away nicely. Runs for Jacina Joseph again. And that will be the 50 for the Windward Islands at the end of over number 15. 52 for 5.
They need much more than that. You're looking at 15 overs gone, 52 for 5. The last 5 overs, they really need to up the tempo more now. And it's good to see Joseph picking up 2 boundaries off that over. Expensive over for Munisar in the context of her bowling in the tournament so far. But 2 well-deserved boundaries to Joseph and taking the Windwards over the 50 mark.
And Millington will come back. Started with the new ball from the southern end. So she's going to pick up the attack also from the southern end. 8 runs in the last Munisar over. 4 to begin with and a 4 to end with. High full toss from Flafiana to start. It's going to go in the hands of Lashana Toussaint, a deep mid wicket, in and out. That's a chance. And no ball signaled by umpire. So no ball for height. Yet again we're seeing another bowler bowling a full toss above the waist. And there you see, yes, very high indeed. As we welcome back another off spinner who would not be happy with that, Clyde Butts.
Good evening to you, John. Certainly that was a very full delivery. Batsman probably disappointed, didn't get it square. We beat the field and got 4 runs. So
free hit down to long off. Good attacking field from Grimmon, just a single.
I'm just a little surprised that she didn't look to give her the charge. It's a free hit. Come down the track, try and hit it as hard as you possibly can. We haven't seen a lot of free hit in this tournament go for boundaries.
Millington 1 for 11 in the final over, including a maiden. This one is played into the onside, so more runs. Good rotation in the strike. Send back. So this time Lashana picks it up cleanly. Jafina Joseph got some loose deliveries and dispatched them. She's looking dangerous.
Yeah, she has been scoring and certainly has made a reflection a little bit more comfortable at the other end, because I think she was starting to get a little agitated when she weren't scoring. So certainly this is a nice little partnership building.
One for 12 in a final over, Flafiana Millington. Full ball, but ill-directed, down the leg side. Good take from the keeper, but bad ball.
Yes, and lucky to have gotten away with that, because had any bat gotten on top, that would have been 4 runs, because it was outside the leg stump. It was a little quick as well, but the wicketkeeper did well to get around to take that. Driving back past the bowler, they're going to get an easy single as long off comes around. So Windwards are just beginning to put a little pressure on the Guyana fielders, and we can see them in the field just making a few little bubbles.
Grimmon not going with 2 hands to pick up that one. Going with the right hand, and the ball bubbled after she stopped it. So I like this innings from Joseph so far. 15 from 12. Nicely knocked down by Mangro at point.
Mango's look real good in the field though, hasn't
Quite
she?
electric.
She has been diving around, looking to make sure she doesn't give away any runs. And she's quick. She's quick over short distances.
Tugged away. And the debutante collects, but is not quick enough to prevent the single. Kumari Prasad. To be interesting to have the number of Escuba players that have played senior cricket for Guyana. Senior as in regional.
Women?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's cut away. This time Mangru cannot prevent the single. Tied it up by Schultz at the extra cover boundary. And that's the end of Millington for the night. 16 gone. At the end of it, 60 for the loss of 5. Millington finishing her work for the night. 4 overs, 1 for 16.
Well bowled. She started really well, yes, in that last over. She did not bowl as well, but you've got to remember that the batters are hunting you at this time as well, so you're going to give away a few runs. But just going back to that Essequibo thing, I can remember there was, maybe this is the third that I could remember. Maybe there have been others. Remember there was a girl from Wakanam. I can't remember. I'm getting old, so you got to forget about names at the moment.
I remember Wazida Bacchus.
And then there was Wazida Bacchus, yes.
And this girl from Wakenham, Sleeping Me as well.
I just can't remember her name. Maybe somebody would message us and tell us what her name was.
But congratulations to Kumari Prasad, being rewarded for her good work at the inter-county level in the domestic tournament. She really carried the attack with bat and ball for her side. So Mulasar will continue. She conceded 8 runs, 2 boundaries in her opening over. And strange enough, at the end of her spell in the last match, she got 2 wickets. It's a different day altogether.
Full toss hit back pass the bowler on the on side of the pitch, and they get an easy single. And you think the Windwards are getting up to a decent score. They've got 61. When you look at what the scores have been in this tournament, 80, 90, some teams have been able to defend those scores. And one only can remember Guyana bowling Barbados out for 87 and couldn't get that run. So I'm sure Windwards will have that at the back of their mind as well. So if they can get another 20 runs, everything, then they've got a chance. Could make a good game out of it.
In the air, over the fielder in the 30-yard circle at extra cover. That's Grimmon. But once again, Lashana Toussaint on the cover boundary comes off. So the batters will just get a single. So Joseph has been very attacking in her stroke play. Good use of the feet from Fletcher, looking for a single. It could have been suicidal.
I think
Better sense prevailed.
Fletcher would have been disappointed with that as well, because it was a full toss. It was just looking probably to work it on the onside to get that single.
3 singles in the over so far from Munisar. Her second over. Driven again, lofted, but down towards extra cover. And Toussaint, who's 3/4 way to the boundary, will come around and collect. So one more to the Windward Islands. 64 now for the loss of 5 wickets. .64 for 5. This is down towards the end of over number 17 now.
Backing away, looking to probably play that a little square than it actually went. And got it just past extra cover, was able to get a single.
So 17 overs completed, 3 to go. We have to start looking at projections. I ask you first, Mr. Butts. You were going to ask me, I can tell.
I think they're going to get just about 80. I think 3 overs, 5 runs and over. 80, 85. Whether that would be a winning target, we'll have to wait and see. But again, one never knows as well, because Joseph is out there. She's been hitting the ball well. She's been scoring. Gajnabi, I think, is the one coming into the attack. She's going to be bowling right arm, medium pace. Maybe a little surprise, maybe Smart. But Smart may be bowling from the other end to finish off, and maybe we wouldn't see Munishwar finishing her spell.
Gajnabi is going to come into the attack, like you mentioned, indeed.
She hasn't bowled a lot in this tournament, has she?
Not at all, yeah. I think because of the fact that the Guyana attack was spin-based, we see that only seamers that were used were Cherry Ann Fraser before injury and Tremaine Smart extensively.
Yes. Yes, because Giddings, when she played, she only bowled 1 over as well.
Yeah, and that's the end of her. Not only for that match, but for the tournament. We haven't seen her since. The 50
You've
over.
seen her on the field, come on.
The 50 overs tournament.
You haven't seen her playing.
The Super 50 will begin on Thursday, right here at Providence.
I don't think there'll be much change in terms of Guyana team, though. In terms of the spinners being the ones that are going to carry us in the 50 overs, and maybe use Smart, Gajnabi, and if Fraser comes back.
So Gajnabi will be bowling to Jafina Joseph, who's on 19 and looking good. Good delivery chance for runner to the non-strikers. Then how's that? And umpire says not out. Good running. That's excellent running, because it was not very far off the square, but there was the debutante in Passad picking up and sends the return.
A good return as well.
Good
it was
return.
a good return, and the batter had to dive in to get in. As we look at the replay, it's just sticking a little, but we wait and see. But I think she may have just gotten in. The umpire was in the best position to see whether that was out or not.
And then we can see as well that
this is hit well over extra cover, but there's a sweep out there, and she'll only get 1.
after the appeal for run out, we see that the bowler in Gajnabi was not disappointed with the decision. Oh, I would like to see that again. It would be interesting to see that again. But what's gone is gone, however. It looked close on the return. This pair got together to score 36 for 5. Single rotation in the strike, good running.
Well, they're rotating the strike, but they're not getting any boundaries. And Guyana would be very happy with that, keeping things under pressure. I think Windwards obviously would want to have a couple of boundaries in the last couple of overs.
Yeah.
You know?
32 runs so far for the 6th wicket between Fletcher and Joseph. This one is hit.
Slapped away again out into the deep. Schultz comes around, picks up well, sends a return. They're looking for 2 and she's run out.
This time she's going to be out.
That's about halfway up the pitch. 2 was never on. Never on there. She never had a chance. I think that's a bad wicket to lose at this time.
Yeah.
Because she was looking the more aggressive of the two, and was scoring a little more than Afi Fletcher at this time. That was a bad wicket. And 2 was never on there.
So that's the end of Jafina Joseph, run out for 21 from 18 deliveries, and the score 69 for a loss of 6 wickets. And we're into the 18th over of the Windward Islands innings after they were sent in. And the new batter making her way to the middle is the medium pacer, Janelia Glasgow. Glasgow will be at the non-strikers end. There's an appeal for leg be forgiven. Full delivery. And umpire Chef Nankumar Chef Sankar says you're out. Afi Fletcher leg before. So 2 wickets in 2 balls. Fletcher goes for 26 from 30. And the Windwards slipping further now. 6-9 for 7.
Yes, and that's sometimes happens. You lost 1, you lose 2, and you lose the 2 players that were in and doing well. You know, that run out certainly was not needed. As we look at the replay, well, that run out was not needed. There was never 2 runs on there. Now you've lost both batters that were scoring. The ball that was full, she was going across looking to hit it through mid-wicket. Probably just going to hit the leg stump out the ground, so umpire decided that was out.
And that was a much quicker delivery as well from Gajnabi. It was full.
Maybe now that 80 runs is going to be a little bit tough to get as well.
Yeah, got set batters are out, partnership broken, and fresh legs and new batters are at the crease. So Tortin has made her way to the middle. That's Erilyn Turton. And she has joined Glasgow. So both batters yet to face a delivery. Oh, nice confident drive. Good feeling as well to her own bowling. Gajnabi. So that's the end of 18. 69 for 7. And the Windwards, after nice partnership, little recovery for the 6th wicket. They're now, after losing 2 quick wickets, back into some trouble. 69 for 7.
Yes, I think when you're going like that, you can ill afford to lose both wickets in 2 consecutive deliveries as well. 1 run out and 1 LBW. Your 2 most experienced players as well. 2 players that were out there and were striking well, had a nice little partnership going. They were doing nice rotation, not getting the boundaries, but the rotation was coming. As we see Smart now coming back to bowl this over and to finish things off for Guyana.
Yeah, just like you predicted, Smart will be coming from the top end. And Munisar taken out of the attack. 2 overs for her tonight. None for 11. None for 13. 8 and 5.
I think she's a talented little off spinner. I think Guyana would see a lot of her over the years. She's still young. She's still under 19. I'm sure she'll be captain in the Guyana under 19 team this year. So
chance for run it again, and this time Grimond does not pick up. That could have been more trouble for the Windwards.
Definitely so. As Grimond was coming in, the ball was hit quietly out to her. She was coming, looking to pick up with one hand, was unable to do so, and the bat was able to get back in to her crease.
Have a look at it again. There was Glasgow halfway up the track and sent back, but she, because of the misthrow, she got back.
She's working this one out into the onside again. This time she's going to get an easy single as Grimond comes around. This time picks up cleanly.
And again, she uses one hand. So, earlier, like I said, Trinidad and Tobago beating Barbados, Jamaica beating Leeward Islands. So this is the final match of the tournament. Jamaica finishing on 16 points, Barbados on 16 points as well. Trinidad and Tobago 14 points.
Ooh,
extra
this one
bounce.
Certainly bounce got the edge. It is running down to the third man boundary. That's going to be 4 runs. Signal, so well bowled, unlucky to get 4 runs. A delivery that was pitched just outside off some bounce nicely. Got the edge, beating the keeper, and went 4 runs.
The extra bounce made a big difference there, and the keeper right up to the stumps as well. Could not get up in time, and 4 runs. Smart in her final over, none for 13. She has sent down 15 dot balls in her spell so far. There's an appeal for a caught behind. How is that? Question asked of umpire Nigel Duguid. And the international umpire, the test umpire, is unmoved.
And Campbell looks a little bit disappointed. But it's hard to tell whether there was an edge or not, because we actually... Was it an edge, or was she appealing for an LBW? This just seems... I think it may have been an LBW that she was appealing for.
This time, bat on ball, chance for run out at either end, and Smart does not collect cleanly. So pressure on the fielder, and the return came in from Schultz at long off, and were able to complete the second run very quickly. And there we see Thornton, the wicket-keeper batter, running to the danger end, but got off very quickly. And
that would have been close. I think that would have been very close had Smart taken that return and got the ball onto the stumps.
Runs again.
The offside again. They're going to probably look for 2 again. I think they will get it. Not such a good throw this time. And both of these players are looking to score, and they've taken. That was a good over for the Windward Islands. They scored 8 runs in that over, so the score has actually gone up to 78. And you said fresh legs, 2 new players out in the middle, and their rotation was very good in that over, and they got an edge as well, which went down to the boundary for 4.
So the final over coming up, final over of the innings of the Windward Islands. They were sent in, and the innings not getting the momentum that they were looking for. Kimon Homer, 7, Zeta James, 6, Stacey Ann Adams, no score, Kiana Joseph, 1, Malika Edward, 1, Afi Fletcher, 26, Jafina Joseph, 21, and that was Glasgow and Thornton at the crease. With the final over to be bowled by Shabika Gajnabi.
I think Orleans and Guyana did bowl very well, especially in the power play when you bowl 6 over, and I think it was only 16 for 1. At that stage, that's putting 14 for 1. That's putting pressure on the other side. Yes, they had a partnership in the middle, but I think that more or less set the tone of the game. And that partnership between Fletcher and Joseph was a good one. It gives them a chance of getting up to a decent score. But certainly, I think the way how Guyana opened the bowler's bowl was very good.
.79 now for 7. So Smart, who started with the new ball. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 17 runs, no wicket. Flafiana Millington sharing the new ball with Smart. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 16. Kaisia Schultz, 4 overs, 3 for 13. Shanita Grimmond, 4 overs, none for 14. And Munisa, 2 overs, none for 13. In the air. And a little bit of
that little fumble. Unable to collect cleanly. And maybe cost you another run there, because that could have easily been a run out had Possard collected that cleanly, and maybe just a little slight return to the wicket, to the bowler, and they would have had a run out there. But the Windwards are running for everything at the moment.
I'm liking the intensity of this game so far. No ball signaled by the umpire. Chance for run out at a striker's end, but the batter is very quick in Thornton. So free hit coming up. And this can be exciting in the last over.
And an extra run as well. So we were saying 80, 85. Well, it looks like they're going to get there and probably get a couple more.
How about 89?
I like how you wait until the last couple of deliveries then to say your predicted score.
Over the head of the bowler. Looking for the second, it's
and
going to be on
get
because
it as well.
Smart was a bit late in coming off the long off boundary. She was waiting rather than attacking the ball, and the batters realized they can capitalize, and they got back for the second easily. 84 for 7. But the intensity has certainly increased in the back end of the innings, and this game now has come alive.
Oh, that's full and straight. Looking to play across the line this time. Missed it. And Gajnavi was like, how did that miss the off stump? It was very close.
Let's have a look. And there it is. It's bowling wide of the crease, just a bit wide.
And she's hitting this out to mid-off. Extra cover comes around, and they're going to get an easy single.
There we see Irva Gettings as well on the field. So we have seen her a lot, but not in the playing 11.
85 for 7.
After 10 overs, the score 26 for 1. Almost 60 runs in the second 10 for the Windward Islands.
Good last delivery as the batter was coming down the track. Pushed into the pads, unable to get it off. Mark 86 to get for Guyana. That's going to be interesting. A good game. I think there was 2 parts in the Windward innings. Early on, Guyana certainly dominated. The last 10, I think the Windwards came back very well to get that sort of score, and be interesting to see how Guyana go after the break.
Right. So we'll take a break because that's the end of the Windward Islands innings. Remember, they were sent in, and after 20 overs, 85 for 7. And they have set Guyana a target of 86 in 20. We'll be back in a short while to give you the run chase in this, the final match of the CG Insurance Women's T20 Blaze, live from Providence.
Good evening and welcome back to the Guyana National Stadium at Providence. We run at the floodlights here, and the Windward Islands coming up with a total of 85 for 7 in the 20 overs. Glasgow unbeaten on 3, 13, 12 not out, 8 extras, 5 wides, 2 no balls, 1 leg by. Good bowling from the Guyana girls. Schultz 3 for 13, Millington 1 for 16, and Gajnaby 1 for 11 from 2 overs. And you look at the scorecard and you see 21 from Joseph, 18 balls, 3 fours. Fletcher, the captain, 26, 1 4, 31 balls. And that's really what has transpired in terms of the highlights of the first part of the innings. So the Windwards side is out in the middle, and the 2 openers, the Guyana batting, they've changed the order, and Grimman will face Grimman and Mandy Mangro, the 2 openers. Clyde Butts is alongside me. Clyde, good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Matthew. Yes, interesting evening. This is, I think it's going to be. You've got 85 on the board. You've got to defend those. And we've seen Windward Islands actually bowl pretty well throughout this tournament. The bowling has been good. It's their batting that has been a little suspect. So they may be thinking that they could defend this. Whilst Guyana, on the other hand, their bowling has been good as well. And you may say the same thing. Our batting has not really lived up to its expectations. So Windward Islands must be thinking, well, we've got a chance.
Yes, that's a good assessment. Glasgow, the fast bowler from the far end, that steered away down to third man by Grimman for 1. And Glasgow hasn't looked too badly at all for the Windwards opening the bowling.
Not at all. I think she has bowled well throughout the turn. She's been consistent with her length and line, and she has picked up wickets on many occasions. And you look at the field, there's a slip, there's a backward point, there's a cover, there's an extra cover, and there's a mid-off. So you've got 4 in the ring saving a single on the offside. And there's a third man, there's a mid-on, mid-wicket, and a fine leg. Right on target, just slightly short of a length. That last delivery, making Mangro, who was opening in this game, which she did open in the first game, got injured. And now you see her back as an opener again. Oh, the bowler's had a misstep there and she's down. I hope she's not too badly injured, because she's on the ground and she's rolling in some pain. Whether she twisted her ankle as she was about to get into her bowling stride and to deliver that delivery. She's stretching those ankles now. She's working them around as the physio runs out onto the field. One hope that she's not too badly injured.
She's taking the right boot off, and looks to be a little twist of the ankle, but we'll have to wait and see. But into her delivery stride and then fell over. But always not a good sight at all, you know, with these girls playing cricket. They tend to pick up injuries.
You never want to see anybody get injured on a cricket field or any sporting field as such.
All right, we'll have a look back at that. Ah, yes, the left. I think it's the left foot that twisted when she was about to deliver. Wow. That would be very painful indeed. Very painful.
And maybe the best thing for her now is to come off, get some ice on it, and probably see if she can come back on later. Remember, there's still a lot of cricket to come. There's the 50 overs competition still to come for these ladies. So, well, she's up. She looks all right. She looks to be comfortable, and she's walking back now to her bowling mark, just raising that foot. And it seems to be the right ankle more so.
It's the right.
Than the left. Or she seems to be all right. That's a good sign. It's a good sign.
Right, so the players are back in their positions. One without loss in the very first over when that incident occurred. Grimman got the first run down to third man. So Windwards 85 for 7. So again, their batting didn't quite give them the score they would have looked for. That's hit in the air just to the left of mid-wicket. It's heading out towards the boundary. They've crossed to one. They'll come back for a second. And as the ball is picked up inside the boundary. And that went to the left of, I'll tell you in a moment who that is. That looks like... now we'll have a look at that one more time on the replay, but that was hit. That's to the left of mid-wicket and picked up 2, Mandy Mangru. She's off the mark.
Coming forward, opening the face of the bat, runs it down to third man and gets an easy single to a delivery that's just outside off stump. I think that's what Guyana needs to do. Just keep a rotation of the strike. Look to work the ball around. You don't need necessary to play big shots unless you get bad bowling or bad deliveries. End of the first over. 4 runs scored. 3-2 Mangru. And 1 to Grimman. No need to worry, just to keep working those balls around, picking up singles, picking up twos. As we see, Etienne will be taking the strike from the southern end. Etienne has been a senior pro. She's been playing for the Windward Islands for quite some time, and she's given them human service over the years. I think she's a former captain as well of the Windward Island team.
That's what you call servanthood. A true servant of...
I'm not sure she was a former captain, but I could remember her playing for Dominica as well, being the captain of Dominica. So, because in those days, you've got to remember that the Windward Islands used to play as separate islands.
Right, that's true.
Yes, so
that's true.
That may be where we have mistaken it in terms of captaincy.
Okay.
It's definitely the the Dominican captain.
She's been playing cricket for a long time. True servant to ladies cricket in the Caribbean, more so the Windwards as well.
And Mangru is out. LBW, a delivery that was slightly short of her length. She was looking to work that one on the onside, and the umpires judged her to be LBW. As we wait to see the replay, that was a delivery that was just slightly short of her length. She was playing across. She was going into her wicket, playing across the line, and the umpire judged that one would have crashed into the leg stump. Difficult to see from here whether it would have hit the leg stump or not, but it looks very close. The umpire judged it to be hitting leg stump.
Yes, and from that decision, you got the impression that Mandy Mangru misjudged the line, and why would she have gotten inside her stumps and maybe just looking to turn the ball into the leg side, and the ball crashed into her pads. And in the estimation of umpire Shiv Sankar, that ball would have probably gone on to hit the leg stump. So, first wicket for the Windwards. They needed that. When you look in the context of a low score of 85, they needed to get a breakthrough quickly, and they've done that. And who else to have done that for them? Etienne, the experienced veteran player for the Windwards.
I want to talk a little bit about the pitch. The pitches that we have played on in this tournament so far. The first pitch, we had the first couple of days play on those pitches where we had probably, 6 matches on the pitch to the far right from where we are sitting. And I think they played fairly well. And then we had the next round of matches being played on this pitch now. I think this pitch has actually played a little better. It's got a little bit more bounce, a little bit more pace, a little bit more carry, and it's been good for both bowlers and batter. This is hit on the pad again as she's looking to work this one on the onside. Toussaint. Probably this one just going down the leg side, but good bowling here by poor Letty and keeping things tight, trying and bowl as straight as possible. She was up and roaring there, thinking that she would have gotten her woman. That one just going down the leg side this time. Next delivery is worked out down to third man, and they get an easy single. Yes, I was just talking about the pitches. I think the groundsmen have done a great job in getting to play. They didn't have much time in between to prepare these pitches, and we've had rain as well. So when you come and you get them to give you such good pitches, 2 pitches they've played most of these, they've played all the games on. I think they've done a wonderful job. They've done a wonderful job to keep the ground as well in condition, in tip-top conditions for cricket. So I think they deserve some credit. Sometimes we tend to forget the hard work that has to go into it before we can get this cricket played.
I agree with you, Clyde. Hats off to the ground staff, to those who prepare the pitches. And a question I want to ask you, with CPL matches to be played here, what is the difference in preparation of the pitches for such tournaments as against preparation done here?
Well, this is a drive out on the offside. They're going to get 2. This was hit out into deep. They're looking for a third one that's not on. And she was sent back. I think you probably see a little bit more work. You've got to remember that with men bowling is going to be a little much quicker, not a little quicker. It's going to be much quicker. It's going to be probably, I don't know if the pitches will be much different. And they then tend to play in the middle, in the center, where they have those pitches as well. So, but I think they've done a wonderful job with this tournament. We'll just have to wait and see what happens when CPL comes along. And before CPL, we've got in West Indies are going to host Banga this year. I think it was 1 T20 and 3 ODIs. So we'll have to wait on those.
2 overs gone, 7 for 1.
Yeah, I think the game is evenly poised at the moment. The Windward Islands have been right on target with their bowling. They've bowled fairly straight. Isles, the Guyana batters have been looking to just work the ball into the gaps, work it into the spaces and pick up some runs.
And the Windwards haven't given away in extras yet, which is very good for them, given the low total of 85. But these low totals have had struggles to get up to. Glasgow, is it continuing? Nicely knocked down, moving to her left. Zeta James at backward point. Fletcher's at slip. And you've got third man in Adams. Backward point, there's cover. Extra cover. Mid-off. Mid-on. Mid-wicket and a long leg. Nice tight bowling from Glasgow. In our second over. But you've got to give credit to the Windwards for the way they've played in terms of their fielding and bowling department. They've been good.
I was just giving the pitch so much praise, and then that delivery kept low, just outside the off stump. Had that one been straight, I think Schultz would have, not Schultz, Toussaint would have been in some trouble. That certainly kept very low indeed, just outside the off stump. Again, that kept fairly low, this time a little straighter. Toussaint pushing it out on the offside, unable to get a run. This is good bowling here. I think the bowlers have realized that there's just that little bit in the pitch, and they're not pitching the ball up, they're back pitching it, hoping that they will get, maybe look to get one to keep low or just bowl straight as possible. This time is short outside off stump.
Kept a little bit low as well as it hustled through to the keeper. But adaptability skill is important in T20 cricket. Try to understand the conditions well, read the conditions well, and just work with it.
This time this one is going down the leg side. Wide signal by the umpire. I get the impression that both batters struggling against the pace, and I think she's bowling a little quicker than they expect her to bowl. I wonder if it's because of the dew on the pitch and the ball is just sliding off a little bit more. This time this one bounced outside the off stump. Nice carry to the wicket keeper. That's the end of a very good over indeed.
Excellent over. 3 overs gone. It's 8 for 1 here at the National Stadium at Providence. Remember, Guyana need him to get up to 86 to win this game and to end the tournament on 10 points. If the Windwards win, they will end the tournament on 8 points and in 4th position. Of course, if Guyana wins, they remain in 4th position. So the top 3, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, that's known. Guyana 4 so far, number 4, and you've got Windwards and the Leewards. Probably that's how the positions, the positioning will be at the end of the T20 tournament, which ends tonight. The 50-over tournament starts on Thursday. Full schedule not out as yet. That promises to be good as well. These girls will have to bat and bowl for longer periods now. Looks to play a force-in shot. Grimman through the offside. Missed the shot. She's 3 from 7. Toussaint 1 from 8. Etienne in her 2nd over. 1 for 3 from 1.1. Quick single taken. And you saw in the Windwards innings, they took a number of singles that I thought was very, very cheeky indeed, but they did collect those singles indeed.
Yeah, I think that was a good one because she was looking to hit that through the onside. It just really got the inner part of the bat and just trickled out on the onside. And the bowler had to come across to pick up, so that was a fairly easy single. She's looking to work this one out, probably down to third man, got the handle of the bat or the glove and rolled out on the onside. I think Toussaint here just struggling a little bit with the line that the bowlers are bowling, the line and the length more so. I think the length is just slightly short and she's not getting that chance to come on the front foot to play comfortably.
Yeah, she struggled in the previous game as well to get the ball away. Flashing outside the off stump, a little bit wide. Missed the shot taken by the keeper. 13. But all to play for. You're talking ladies first class cricket in the Caribbean. Come on, put your best foot forward and play. It's not about which position you're at now. It's about playing good cricket. It's a good contest.
No foot movement at all from Toussaint. That last delivery, ball outside the off stump. She's looking to run it down to third man, but there's no foot movement. She needs to try and get that foot across to the off stump.
To balance the tournament a bit more too, you need a better batting effort from the Leewards as well. They would need to improve in their batting department.
So
Nicely cut away.
Working this one. Pass backward point. She's going to get an easy single. I think you have to keep rotation of the strike. It's very important that both batters look to pick up singles, and when the bad ball comes along, then you can look to put them away. But when you're chasing a total that's a little dicey, Because as we have seen in this tournament, very few teams have been
Correct.
able to dominate with the bat.
4 overs gone, 10 for 1. Yes, but the balance needed in ladies cricket in the Caribbean, of course. You need good batting from teams like the Leewards, the Windwards, even Guyana. We've had a few scores of over 100, of course. The big one today, 170 from Jamaica. Big victory for them against the Leewards. But you want the other teams to balance off nicely and to show that they're working hard on every aspect of their game. And we're talking ladies cricket, of course. The Leewards didn't bat well in the tournament. And the Windwards started to pick up, but still not getting big scores. 80s, 90s. So you have
Change of bowling. I think it's Joseph, is it?
That's it, Guyana Joseph.
It's a short, looking for the pull, doesn't time it as it goes trickling out to mid-wicket.
And this is a young lady, I believe, that has good potential, Guyana Joseph.
This is pulled away behind square. They're going to look, well, they'll only get one.
That's a good return from Glasgow in the deep at mid-wicket. Moving to her right, covering some ground. And Guyana Joseph has bowled well too. She's picked up a couple of wickets in the tournament at crucial moments. Left-hand orthodox and a big hard hit of the ball. Hasn't quite come good with the bat in this tournament.
Working this one on the onside of the pitch, in the air, of course. Getting an easy single.
Toussaint, 3 from 14, comes back into strike. Certainly struggled in here to get the ball away. That's well tossed up. Just outside the off stump. One delivery left to complete the 5th over.
Excellent over from Joseph. Just 2 runs coming from that over. Keeping the ball just outside the off stump. First couple of deliveries, a little short, but then she tightened up towards the end and keeping things very tight. And Guyana just maybe finding themselves digging a little hole for themselves. Not really. When you're 12 for 1 from 5, not much different in comparison to where the Windward Islands was.
That is so true. It's tight. It's tight all the way so far in the batting department. Windwards looking to defend this small total, and they've done a good job so far after 5 overs. Grimmond is on 5 from 9 balls. Toussaint 3 from 7.
That as well.
What would have kept her back from bowling? I wonder if she was carrying any little niggling injury or so, but she didn't bowl.
First ball, psychological advantage for Noel as the bowler. Got the edge, but it just did not carry to hand. And 16 for the loss of 1. But this power play as well is very similar to what the Windward Islands had when they were batting. After 6 overs, the Windward Islands were 14 for the loss of 1. And now Guyana into the 6th over, 16 for 1. Close.
Slight advantage to Guyana in terms of runs.
Perhaps that's why she wasn't bowling, Karina Noel. Not able to control this white ball. But she looks impressive. She has a good run-up. She has a good delivery. But just not getting the radar right in terms of where she wants to land these deliveries.
Bowled well against the Leewards first match.
This one is tucked away. Backward of square. Grumman looks good between the wickets. Running very well. Running hard. Running the first one hard. Turning, completing the second with good time as well. And trying to turn 2s into 3s. So she's looking very impressive. But yet again, a struggle for Toussaint at the top of the order. 17 deliveries. Just 3 runs. Remember last night against the Leeward Islands, she had all sorts of troubles as well.
Balls, I believed, and she didn't score, if I'm correct.
Last night against the Leeward Islands, she faced 37 deliveries for 12.
Toussaint, yes.
Toussaint. So
37.
The struggle is real for Toussaint. And I thought that since Kumari Prasad is into the 11, she would have been given the opportunity up the order because that's where she played for County. That's where she got success as well. Leading edge, easily taken, and that's the fall of the important wicket of Shanita Grimman. Caught at cover, and Shanita Grimman gone back to the pavilion now for 11 from 13 deliveries, and that will be a crucial blow for the Windward Islands. As you can see now, ball out on the line of middle stump. She's trying to go through the onside leading edge and was taken at cover. Gone for 11, like I said, and the score now looks like 19 for the loss of 2. Still in the power play.
Good bowling by Karina Noel here. And she got her girl. She pushed forward, leading edge, lob to cover. Kiana Joseph took the catch gleefully and threw the ball high into the air, saying, well, thank heavens for that one. We needed a second wicket. And we need to put Guyana under pressures as the captain comes out. That's Campbell. Toussaint, as you said, struggling 3 from 17, 19 for 1 in the 6. I think the Windwards are back in this game nicely. Well, they've been in it, but to have picked up a second wicket strengthens their position in terms of staying even Stevens in this game so far. With their low score of 85, they're defending it well.
Oh, that's a bad delivery of a high full toss. But outside the off stump, and there is Shemaine Campbell getting back to ball, but it's a no ball because of height. Again, yet another one in this tournament. No ball for height, but not causing any danger to Campbell. It's not on the body, it was outside the off stump, as you can see. And she just slapped it tennis-like down to mid-off.
Flat batted. I thought she might have been surprised with that delivery, but she handled it well. She played it well. She'll get the free hit now. Noel don't want to spoil her figures here. 1 for 8 so far.
So 2 fielders outside, fine leg and third man. Everyone else in the circle because this is still the power play. And this one is played down towards that fielder at fine leg. She's looking for a second. She's going to turn and will not continue. That would have been very close. We saw Shemaine Campbell touching down, as you can see in the replay. Not very deep into that crease, but looking for the second and realizing that a throw is on its way, and she stopped and sent her partner back as well. So she's off the mark, the captain of Guyana. It's now 21 for 2, still in the power play. 1 delivery to go in the power play.
A good leg side play. She loves that slug sweep.
Oh, wide signal by umpire Nand Kumar Shiv Sankar. That ball was outside the off stump, moving further away. Shemaine shaping to play, but in fact, it's Toussaint shaping to play, and then eventually leaving it to go by.
The school teacher from the West, Demerara. Nigel Duguid, the test umpire, the international umpire. At square leg. Moses Rampal from Berbice, the reserve umpire.
This one is played into the onside as well, so Toussaint will get a single. That will be the end of the power play. So 23 Guyana for the loss of 2 important wickets, and that's the end of their power play.
Mangru going for 3, Grimond for 11. Gives the Windwards the impetus they need to make inroads into a Guyana batting lineup where Toussaint is struggling. Campbell, the informed player. And you look down the line, you see Gajnaby and others to come. That's Smart, Millington, Schultz, and so on. But the Guyana batting a bit brittle when a couple of wickets have fallen. Let's say 4 wickets fall, 3-4 wickets. It gets a little bit dicey for them.
Kiana Joseph continues. This is her second over. 2 runs in her opening over. Just 1 over for her in the power play.
Look, good batting display by Campbell and Gajnaby against the Leewards.
That's the hedge. And we'll get some runs. 1 gone for 1, coming back for the second. We'll get it quite easily. Buys a signal by the umpire. Thought was edged there because of the movement. So it means that some amount of spin on that ball from Kiana Joseph, the left arm spinner.
Beat the keeper.
With the glove of the keeper.
And came down to fine leg.
So the buys and extras contributing to this total. Late cutting. So Toussaint not able to get his ball away, not able to get runs. And her struggles continue.
She's looking for good scoring shots, but the ball is going straight to the fielders.
Guyana do not want to bat themselves into a position where they have to get more than 6 runs and over for an extended period if they're going to get to that target of 86. The Windward Islands won't mind that at all. Banged away, runs for Toussaint. This time is going to run into the boundary at backward point. 4 runs to her. She will double her score now. Moves on to 8. It's now 29 for 2. But that's a beautiful square drive.
Yeah, that's what I said. You know, she's looking for scoring shots, but she was playing the ball to the fielders. This time she was able to find the gap nicely behind point and picked up a very prized boundary to improve her stats. 8 from 23. Well, she need to pick up the scoring rate a bit. Well, I find that Guyana's put themselves under pressure in terms of the batting department. Another beautiful stroke. True point again and consecutive boundaries for Lashana Toussaint, who started off struggling and now she's beginning to pick the gaps nicely. 2 glorious boundaries for her.
If it's nice, you play it twice, and that is exactly what Lashana Toussaint did on that occasion. And 10 runs in that over. So productive one for Guyana. And at the end of 7, 33 for the loss of 2 wickets. So that's a very healthy over. Expensive one in the context of the game from Kiana Joseph. Licking consecutive boundaries. But there we see Lashana Toussaint getting width outside the off stump and making use. So that's Providence outfield as well, making that ball speed away.
Yeah, looked very good indeed. Timed the ball well. But as I said earlier, John, I think Guyana's they tend to put themselves under a bit of pressure when batting. Look, they couldn't get up to 86 to beat, I think it was Barbados. They got 79. Battled against, was it Jamaica? Didn't get to play against Trinidad because of rain.
This outfield is big, so we'll get 2 runs, but they have to step on the accelerator. Shemaine Campbell eventually got home as Afi Fletcher starts a spell, the captain of the Windward Islands.
Couldn't get enough runs with Jamaica. the Jamaica game. And then even with the Leewards last night, after 10 overs, they were about 37. So they tend to put themselves under a bit of pressure. And then the panic button is turned on, and that's it. So, and that's where they've got to be careful, because you're looking at the 50-over competition to come, starting Thursday. They need to bat for long periods. You're talking 50 overs.
The Windward Islands innings, when they batted, they got 26 in the first 10 overs and 59 in the second 10. So scored just about 6 runs and over in the second 10 of their innings. And that got them to 85 for the loss of those 7 wickets. They left it a little bit too late. Single once again. So rotation in the strike in this over.
Nicely done by Etienne at cover. Knocked the ball down, tidied up by the field at, well, that's cover and extra cover. Afi Fletcher, the captain, very experienced, leading the Windwards well.
Top edge, over the head of Edward, running from that short backward square. And 2 runs again to Guyana, but there's Toussaint not looking totally comfortable, not in total control of the sweep shot. Got the top edge, and as you can see on the replay, she really had to stretch out for the second. Return come in, good return, but the keeper did not take it comfortably.
I thought that second one was a bit close, in the sense that the keeper didn't take the ball cleanly. She disturbed the stumps, the ball was out of her hand. Had that ball remained in her hand and she took the she disturbed the stumps, well, it might have been a little bit different.
So that's the end of 8 overs. 38 now for the loss of 2, and the Windward Islands fighting back.
Look, they're fighting hard. They've picked up, Etienne has picked up Mangru, and then Noel has picked up Grimman, going cheaply, 3 and 11. But these two, so far, are fighting nicely. Toussaint finally picking up her scoring rate, 14 from 26. Campbell 4 from 6. She's just come out. And Fletcher's just completed her first over for 5 runs. And you get the impression that the key bowlers here for the Windwards would be the captain, Fletcher, marshalling her forces, ringing the changes as we're about to start over number 9. And she's now going to give a bowl to, is it Zeta James?
So Zeta James, the 18-year-old, will have an opportunity with the ball. Open the batting today. Quick delivery down the leg side, but good feeling from Etienne. That short, fine leg. That was a loosener from James. And she's not dispatched, she's not punished.
She was expensive. I think 4 overs for 31 runs in the game last night.
Yesterday she played against Trinidad and Tobago in that close encounter. She was expensive with the ball, also looked good with the bat, and almost got home. Got her team home. Outside the off stump, there's Campbell getting a quicker delivery and opening the face of the bat.
And with that short run against Trinidad, she was actually over the line but didn't ground her bat, and then came back for the second run.
So much better start to her bowling spell than she had yesterday, a day ago against Trinidad and Tobago. But Toussaint, her struggles continues. Not able to get this ball through the gaps, hitting it straight to the fielders. This time, pace off and we'll get a single. Will not even think about the overthrow. Campbell says, stay there.
Yes, it went straight to Etienne, but that was nicely played by Toussaint with soft hands, guided it out into the offside and set off with a single very quickly.
Nice single, good feeling from Etienne again, hitting the stumps directly. And a single will take the score now on to 45 at the end of 9. In fact, 45 runs still to come. So it's good work from Guyana so far. 85 for 7 when the Windwards batted. Got 85 for 7 from their 20. And Guyana now 41 for the loss of 2 wickets. 9 overs gone. So they need 45 runs from the last 11 overs of the run chase.
Yeah, it's just over 4, slight touch over 4. But Zayda James' first over cost in 3 runs has proven to be a good over for her.
She's looked the part, Zayda James. A good all-round cricketer. She's neat in the field. She's been getting to the balls very quickly. Her release is good, strong returns. And of course, we saw her with her bat yesterday. Did not get a lot today for the Windwards. Just 6, opening the bat in, so a new role for her as well. And Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados will have franchise for the first time in CPL. Lots of these girls will be the franchise will be looking at these girls. Zayda James, I'm thinking she's going to be one to be first signed by one of these franchise teams.
And that's a good move for these girls to play franchise cricket.
There's a little bit of injury right now to Toussaint. She's on the ground, and the physio is looking at her. Umpires are interested as well. So you're not missing any cricket. This is the 10th over about to start. And 45 runs away from victory, Guyana. 66 delivery still to go. So it's CPL, like I said, bringing on franchise women's cricket. This tournament also, the what's at stake becomes higher. Because you can play for international side, West Indies, and also you can play for franchise side. So more cricket for these players.
Like the Stephanie Taylors and the Deandra Dottins who play franchise cricket.
Yeah. Afi Fletcher as well. So, yeah, so these ladies can really extend their career. You can see them in the CPL. CPL turns 10 this year. Caribbean Premier League. As we continue with Fletcher bowling over number 10, and a quick single again, taken the short backward square. There's Malaika Edward, the tall figure, picking up but slow to send a return in.
I like the idea of both batters pushing each other between the wickets. Just push each other. You've got to do that. Come on, the best has got to come out in you in the running department. Show how fit you are. You've got to be a fit cricketer to play T20 cricket.
Oh, a chance for a run out and sent back. So there's Lashana Toussaint playing this ball straight to the fielder at mid-wicket. Stacey Ann Adams.
On that occasion, the run wasn't on at all.
Not at all. And then the experienced Campbell at the other end, at the non-strikers end, says, go back there. No foot movement, just playing outside the off stump, and the ball goes by to the keeper. So some technical flaws there again we're seeing.
Yes. A good opportunity as we wrap up the T20 Blaze tournament to begin looking ahead now to the 50-over tournament.
Just before we go on to the 50 overs, I know for the CPL, like I said earlier in an earlier match, Ryan Hercules, who I think will be given some responsibilities and some roles again for the CPL. They'll be looking very closely at these ladies. This one is short of the fielder once again at that mid-wicket region. Stacey Ann Adams in that position. And Toussaint pulling but not getting the power and the connection she wants. And fell short of the fielder. So down towards the end of the 10th over now. For the 2 for 2 Guyana in reply to 85 for 7 made by the Windward Islands. And yet again, the mid-wicket fielder, who's very short, comes into play for the 2 for 2 after 10 overs. And Guyana still requiring 44 more runs from the final 10 overs. So we'll take a break, Pastor Kisoon, and then we come back. It will be more action. Guyana trying to get the 44 runs needed for victory. So we're back with the action, and we're about to head into the final home stretch of this match. This gripping encounter between Guyana and the Windward Islands, the 5th round match, the final round of the tournament. This is the final match of the round as well. So Guyana before this, 6 points from 4 matches. The Windward Islands 4 points from their 4 matches. So the team that will take 4 points from this encounter will finish 4th on the points table. Jamaica and Barbados with 16 points apiece at the top of the table. And Trinidad and Tobago in 3rd on 14. Glasgow continues. Now back for her 3rd over. This is the 11th of the innings. The final over before the break was bowled by Afi Fletcher. Just a single was conceded. She caused all sorts of trouble for Toussaint, who survives. 44 needed from 60 deliveries at the break. We see the single taken very early. So playing and missing again. So Toussaint not having a good night again. And she got some treatment during the break. On her left knee, we saw some heavy strapping on that. So if she's not 100%, you can understand why she's struggling. But it's good bowling from Glasgow in her comeback delivery, in the comeback over. Looking to cut too hard, beats the keeper, however. And looking for a second, it's not on. So welcome back Clyde Butts for the final time tonight. Hello, Clydie.
Good evening to you, John. Very interesting start to the Guyana innings. They've missed a lot of deliveries, I think, when they should have been scoring. Because those deliveries, you just need to push them out on the offside probably and get things. I don't think the foot movement of Toussaint has been good. That's a good looking shot from the skipper. This is going to go all the way, I think, into the boundary. That's 4 runs. Ball pitched up. Skipper driving nicely on the onside down to the boundary for 4. Good looking shot.
Talk about timing there. Was a low delivery, low over pitch delivery. And she was driving through the line, not trying to hit it too hard, just placing it. And she got adjusted to the right of the bowler in her follow through. And the mid-on, who was straight, had no chance in Malika Edward. Nice timing. And this outfield has certainly quickened. We haven't had rain yesterday and today. So 2 days of no rain. And it has flattened out, dried out nicely. Swung away nicely. 4 runs again to Campbell. And that will be the 50 for Guyana in over number 11. 52 for the loss of 2.
I think that's going to take pressure off of Guyana. When you've come back just after a break, we tend to say we lose wickets, or our team lose wickets. This time, we scored 8 runs, 9 runs in what, 4 deliveries?
Yeah.
Certainly, that's very good for Guyana. Taking some of the pressure off of Campbell, I think.
So Campbell, consecutive boundaries, now joined Toussaint on 16. So Glasgow guilty of bowling on the leg stump, and again, she strays on the leg stump and overpitched again and a single. So the 11th over coming to an end. 53 for a loss of 2. Some 11 runs in that over after the break.
Yeah, good over for Guyana. Probably most expensive over of the innings so far. Ball not really Glasgow not getting her line right in that over. And over the tournament, she's been very tight. She's been mean. Bowling in good areas. That over, she just overpitched a little to Campbell, and Campbell is a class player, and she's gonna put those deliveries away, and she did.
The 6th over also yielded 11 runs, and then the 7th 10 runs. So they've had a few overs, 10 and 11, but now towards the end of this, getting towards the end of this contest. Still 33 needed from the final 9 overs.
And John, I did speak earlier about the work of the groundsmen that they've put in this pitch. And to think that's a good delivery, angling into the left, to the right-handed Campbell. May just have been sliding down the leg side. Probably when we have a look at the replay, we'll see. Yes, I think that was just sliding down the leg side.
Yeah, good call.
Going on with the arm. Yeah, so we've got cricket coming on again in another couple of days' time. Hardly any time for the groundsmen to get a lot of work on out there. So it'll be interesting to see the type of pitches that we are going to get later as well.
Yes, the Super 50 begins on Thursday, and haven't seen an official fixture just yet, but I understand there will be 10 consecutive days of cricket right here at Providence. And the Women's Super 50, as the Women's Super 50 takes center stage.
Good cricket, that last delivery, just dropping it out on the offside and calling for a quick single. Campbell showing her experience.
Bangladesh is due to tour Guyana as well. They will open the test series against West Indies on Thursday in Antigua. Then they head to St. Lucia. Then head across to Guyana. Then she's going to be given out. Loud appeal, Lashana Toussaint. Given out this time. Tonight she has faced, last night she had 37 for 14. So her struggles continue, but this time she's back in the pavilion, caught behind. And the score in over number 12, Guyana 54 for the loss of 3.
Yeah, a delivery that was wide outside the off stump. She was looking to cut without getting her feet across outside the off stump. Got the bottom edge, and it was a good catch actually by the keeper because she had to go down low and stay with the delivery. It's a good catch. Toussaint gone. And Windward Islands would be thinking, well, we've got a third wicket. We need to continue taking wickets if we're going to have any chance in this game. Whilst with Guyana and the captain out there now, Gajnabi, a West Indian player as well, going out in the middle, I think the two of them would want to have a little partnership here to see them home.
54 for the loss of 3. So it means just 32 more runs for victory. And if they can get anywhere close to that, it will be easy going for Guyana. But Windward Islands will know as well, if they separate this pair, or perhaps see the back of both of these batters, get into the lower middle order and the lower order, they can also walk away with a victory to end the T20 segment of this women's tournament. So it's all to play for.
So you'll not see that Guyana is in the driving seat at the moment?
Because of that brittle batting lineup, we do not want to go too far ahead of ourselves just yet.
Well, I'm going to say I think Guyana is in the driving seat at the moment. And mark my word, at the moment. Yeah. They're ahead of the game. I think what they've got to do is just try and keep rotating the strike. You need Campbell to bat right through to the end.
Needs to be a good driver, not to drive reckless. Pace off that delivery from Kiana Joseph. And we see Campbell, Gajnabi, getting the defensive blade in the way. So that's the end of a successful over for Kiana Joseph and for the Windward Islands. 54 for 3, 12 overs gone. Just a single in that over, the 12th, and the wicket. But we see again tonight, Lashana Toussaint struggling. Last night, 14 from 37. Tonight, 16 from 36. At the top of the order, not good.
That sometimes tends to put pressure on the other players unless somebody is really going at the other end. I think what you need to do is not to have face so many dot deliveries. You need to try and rotate the strike. And our footwork has not been good in this game tonight.
Fletcher starts over number 13. And a single immediately taken by Campbell. But this pair, they bat very well together.
Well, the two young people in the middle, two fit young people in the middle, and they run well together as well. So, and Gajnabi tends to be a little bit more aggressive. So that sometimes takes the pressure off of the captain, who can then relax a little more and play her natural game.
She can steer the ship.
Yeah, and our natural game is to work the ball into gaps, and when the bad deliveries come along, to put them away. This is wide outside the leg stump. It's going to be called a wide, and I think it's going to go all the way into the boundary. No. Well stopped by poor Letty, and the veteran running, chasing away from a short fine leg position. Got there and then had to dive and pull it back, saving a run.
Excellent commitment from the veteran, showing the youngsters how it is done. Good commitment. Did you say wide or while delivery? 'Cause that was very wide outside the leg stump from Fletcher.
Wide. I just wanted to say wide.
Just to confirm. Oh, nice flighted delivery this time from Fletcher.
Ball certainly coming off of Campbell's bat sweetly. That was pushed nicely back. You listen to the sound and you know that's hit the middle of the bat. So she's back and she's cutting this behind point on the offside. She's going to get an easy single. What are your thoughts, though, on the tournament that we've had? This is the last game. We've had 5 days of good cricket, or we've had 5 days of good bowling, I would say. The batting, I think, at times left a lot to be desired.
We had to play not only against, teams had to play not only against the other teams, but against the weather. That played a major part in the early part of this tournament. And I think they did well, supported well. The groundsmen gave excellent outfields, excellent playing conditions in the context. And the players, like you mentioned, the batting could have been a lot better. The bowlers were on top.
I think, you know, when you come into a tournament, probably a little lack of preparation showed. Then when you get here, there's no practice, because I'm sure none of the teams would have been able to practice with the weather being what it was over the past 8-9 days or so. And that would have put a lot of pressure on teams as well.
This one is hit back over the head of the fielder at mid-off, running close to the boundary. Gajnabi will get 2 runs, and she's going to get off the mark. 6-2 now for a loss of 3. Still in over number 13. And the required target now, the target is now just 22 runs away. 24 runs away. 24 runs from 43 deliveries.
We spoke about these groundsmen. Sometimes they leave it because they have to cover up the pitch as well before they leave.
Down the track and bowled. That's Gajnabi looking for another lofted shot using her feet. Did not get to the pitch. She was yorked.
But was that necessary?
Not at all.
She was looking for a big heave, probably looking to hit it over long on, missed it completely, and was bowled. She was going down the track, lifted her head, and looking to hit that over long on. That wasn't necessary at this time. She needed to try and stay there with her skipper and to bat a little longer, bat deep into the overs.
24 runs away from victory. 7 overs still to be bowled. There's Gajnabi. Rush of blood. And she is gone. Bowled by Fletcher for 2. 4 for 62. And more experience. And you cannot get more than this. Tremaine Smart heading out to the middle.
And sometimes you tend to wonder, though, when you start seeing the batting order being changed a little, because I'm sure Smart wasn't set to come in at this time, if that's not a little bit of scoreboard pressure. But you've got lots of delivery still to come. You're way ahead in terms of the scoring rate. And, you know, sometimes you think you've got to stick to that batting lineup right through. Well, not right through necessary, but unless it's necessary to change your batting lineup.
Joseph now in her final over. Guyana Joseph, that is. 14 not balls so far. 3.1 overs, 1 for 11. And the single taken. That's Campbell with intelligence, playing it with soft hands just in front of her. And took off quite easily for the single. But look at these figures so far. 3.2, 12 runs, 1 wicket.
And consistently throughout the tournament, she has been very economical. And she's picked up wickets at crucial times.
So Smart will take her first delivery. Short ball. Cut away. Cannot get off the mark. Yeah, so I think now that we're towards the end of the T20 tournament, we can all look forward to the 50 overs tournament starting on Thursday. All matches scheduled to be played right here at Providence. 1 per day for 10 consecutive days. Smart will get off the mark. Quick single. Was not going to look for the second. And Smart as well. It's running gingerly after completing the single. in the 50 overs, in the CG 50 overs, Super 50. This one is swept away by Campbell. Runs for her, 4 of them. Backward of square that was in the circle, had no chance, and Malika Edward, it beats her to her right, and it went into the boundary very quickly. So more runs to Campbell, more runs to Guyana, and that will take the score now on to 61 and make it.
I think it's 68.
Yes, the scoreboard says 68. We have lost our ticker on the monitor. So 4 runs nonetheless.
Yes, and Guyana just inching closer to victory. I think with Campbell out there, you're always thinking that Guyana is ahead. Should Campbell get out, then things become a little different.
Dot ball. And that's the end of the over. So another over completed. 14 gone. 68 for the loss of still 4 wickets. 68 for 4. And that's the end of the bowling spell from Kiana Joseph. 4 overs, 1 for 17. Another good performance from her.
Spiled a little by that last boundary that was swept away down to deep backward square, but still very tight. You bowl 4 overs, so less than 20 runs. You're bowling very good, and she has been very consistent throughout the tournament.
Fletcher is going to continue. She's going to be bowling to Tremaine Smart. Smart is on 1, having faced just 2 deliveries so far. It's the 15th over of the innings.
And look at Fletcher's field. She's got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fielders in the circle looking to save that single, inviting Tremaine Smart to look to go over the top. I think Fletcher decides she's got to take wickets if she's going to win this game.
Yeah, this is her final over, however, but she needs support at the other end. In tandem with Kiana Joseph, they've done well.
Yes, they have.
12 dot balls for her in her spell. Driven back of the track past the diving fielder of Fletcher. Did not field to her own bowling. And the score ticks over by 1 to 69 for 4. So Campbell once again to the rescue for Guyana. This is a really good innings from the captain, 25 from 24 so far. Before this match, 79 runs overall, 8 on the tally for the tournament, but the best by Guyana.
And that's what we're talking about. And the batting of most of the sides has really struggled in this tournament. I think. How many fistfuls have we seen in this tournament so far? If my memory serves me right, I think we've got
Chanel Henry in the opening. We had one today from McLean.
And Captain Stephanie.
Taylor had a half century as well.
Captain from Barbados.
Haley Matthews yesterday, 74 not out.
74 not out.
So I think that's about it.
Yeah. So I think that's about it. 4 half centuries.
So that's what we were speaking about earlier. The batting not necessarily clicking in the T20 segment of this women's tournament. Not getting the big scores. Today we had 170 from Jamaica. This one is banged away. Runs again for Guyana. Another boundary. This time Tremaine Smart getting a gift and capitalizing. So the score now moves on by 4 and will be into the 70s. 74 for the loss of 4.
Yeah, and Tremaine Smart getting that one slightly short of a length. She was back on her back foot and pulling it in past mid-wicket. 4 runs, 4 good-looking runs. But she seems to be running gingerly every time she has to run. She's just limping a little. Hope it's nothing too serious because there's still a lot of cricket to be played in this tournament. In the regional tournament with the Super 50s coming up.
So Clary, 12 runs away from victory, 5 overs to go, 6 wickets in hand. Where's your money?
I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would say Guyana certainly. And I told you this a few overs ago, that Guyana is in the driving seat. But I didn't expect they were going to win this easily, but certainly they're in the driving seat and they've got things covered. Once the captain stays out there, I think she's the one that takes the pressure away from the rest of batters and ensures that Guyana would win this game. Good evening to you, Machu, and how are you this evening? Trust you're doing well?
I am doing okay. Good evening to you, Clyde. Well, Guyana well and truly on the way to winning their second game, which is the final match of this T20 tournament. That's played away to point. They come through for a quick single. The return was rifled in and hit. Looks like the boot of Smart. And she's limping there.
I'm not sure that ball actually hit her. She's been limping for a little while now. Since she went out from the first time she ran, she was limping. So if that delivery actually hit her as well, that even more pain for her at the moment. She's now taking off the boot, having a look at her feet. We'll have to wait and see if that ball actually hit her. That was returned from the point position. The physios have had to do a lot of work in this tournament.
They're earning their money. Well, 75 for 4 in the 16th over. So, Guyana doing it pretty well so far. Smart 6 from 6, Campbell 27 from 27. A run a ball for the Guyana captain. You look at the wickets to fallen. Mangru went for 3, Grimman for 10, for 11, beg your pardon. Toussaint 16 from 36 balls, 2 fours. And Gajnabi went for 2, 62 for 4 when that wicket went. So 11 needed. And they've got a few overs, 4.5. 29 balls to get 11 runs. So no need to panic, not a problem whatsoever. What's important from a Guyana point of view is that they will pick up a second win in their last game. One game washed out. They've lost to the top teams, Barbados and Jamaica. Smart looking for a second, but Campbell center back. Ball played away down to backward square. 10 needed now for what would be a comprehensive victory for Guyana, having restricted the Windwards to 85 for 7 in their 20 overs, with 26 to Fletcher and 21 to Jafina Joseph.
Cut away down to third man for an easy single by the captain. Just ball pitched up outside the off stump, just tearing it past backward point. Down to third man for an easy single.
So 9 needed now from 27 balls. Schultz with a bowled well for Guyana, 3 for 13, 1 for 16 Millington, 1 for 11 Gajnabi.
And both players out in the middle now showing their experience, showing Smart, showing why she is a former West Indian player, just working that again on, or looking to work it on the onside, wrapped on the pad. But the difference you can see is the experience out there. They know what they're about, they know what they're chasing. There's no need for any big shots. It's just to keep working the balls around, and Guyana is going to get home.
Nicely driven through mid-wicket for 1. Campbell 29 from 29. Run a ball for the Guyana captain. So 7 needed now. And the final delivery of the 16th over being bowled by Etienne. That's on driven down to mid-on. The return is rifled in quickly from Fletcher. Ricochets and goes away towards the cover area. But they came through quickly for the run as the over comes to an end. So 80 for 4, 16 overs gone. Guyana now needs 6 to win this game.
With lots of deliveries in hand. So both players doing the right thing, just rotating the strike, working the ball into the gaps, picking up easy singles. At the end of this, Windwards probably would be thinking that they were about 20, 25 runs short. So make a good game of it. When you only score 86 in your 20 overs, I think you're short a little. 20, 25 runs, probably would have made a better game out of it.
And then you turn your attention after this match is over to the 50-over tournament. CG Super 50. That in itself will stretch the talent, will stretch the technique, will test the technique of these girls. For 300 legal deliveries. That's a lot of work cut out for them. Especially the teams that are a bit weak in the batting department, like the Leewards, the Windwards. Even Guyana's got to improve a lot.
And we don't talk about it either, but you look at Barbados as well. I don't think you can say their batting is that long. Haley Matthews has been carrying them on our shoulders, and they've struggled once she gets out early, but they normally struggle. But that's badly missed out at mid-on. That's gone for 4. A delivery that was pitched up, was worked on the onside, a little bit in the air, but was dropping just to the right of the mid-on fielder. She did not get around, and it went into the boundary for 4. Nicely timed by Smart as well.
Nice boundary to the all-round player, so 2 needed now. It's almost victory for Guyana. Just a matter of time. Smart 12 from 10, Campbell 29 from 29. As I said earlier, Mangru 3, Grimman 11, Toussaint 16, and Gajnaby 2. The batters dismissed. Bowling figures, Fletcher 4 overs 1 for 20. Joseph 4 overs 1 for 19. They both bowled well. That's played out to point for no run. Zeta James 1 over for 3. Karina Noel 1 over, 1 for 11. Etienne 3 overs, 1 for 9. And Glasgow 3 overs for 16. That's Karina Noel bowling a wide down the leg side. Scores are level. So just the 1 needed now. So I've given to you some bowling figures. Noel is in her 2nd over. That's driven. They take the single. The return comes in, misses the stumps. Victory for Guyana here in the final match of the CG T20 Blast, ending the tournament with a win to take their points to 10. They remain at number 4 at the end of the tournament, with the Windwards and the Leewards bringing up the rear. Windwards with 4 points and the Leewards didn't get a point, but victory by 6 wickets for Guyana. Comprehensive victory after restricting the Windwards to 85 for 7 in their 20 overs. And it's a nice way to end the tournament from a Guyana standpoint. Not getting amongst the top 2 in terms of the tournament, but consolation for them, a consolation victory, knowing that they would not have played against the Trinidad and Tobago side because of rain that washed that match out. losing to Barbados and losing to Jamaica, but winning to the Leewards and the Windwards.
Yeah, I think Guyana would be pretty happy with their performance tonight. They bowled well when it was their turn, kept things very tight, restricting the Windward Islands to 87, and then to come and bat and knock it off with still 3 overs to go. I think that's a good victory. That would give them some confidence and a booster going into the 50-over competitions in another couple of days, but certainly a comprehensive victory for Guyana, and maybe we'll see them doing better in the 50-over competition and finishing a little higher. But nice victory, good competition. I think it was well played. We had some good bowling. Batting a little disappointing from most sides, but Jamaica probably a little bit of an exception, getting 108, 33 and a big score today. But apart from that, I think the batting generally struggled. And maybe in the Super 50, we'll see some better batting performance. And one is hoping that we will see some better performance from all the teams involved.
Right, so that's to wrap up. The Windwards, Guyana won the toss, put the Windwards into bat, 85 for 7 in their 20 overs, with 3 for 13 for Schultz. And in reply, Guyana getting up to 87 for 4, winning by 6 wickets, with Campbell on unbeaten knock of 29, the captain, Smart 13, 11 extras, and Joseph and Fletcher picking up a wicket apiece. So that's it from the National Stadium at Providence. It's been a good CG Insurance T20 tournament, regional ladies cricket being played in Guyana. Just one game washed out, and that was the Guyana Trinidad and Tobago match. And Trinidad and Tobago bouncing back nicely with 3 wins, picking up some 14 points and ending at number 3 on the tables. Guyana at number 4 with 10 points, the Windwards at 4, and the Leewards without a point. So Jamaica winning the tournament, and they've taken the title from Barbados by virtue of net run rate. Barbados ending number 2, Trinidad 14, as I said, Guyana 10, the Windwards 4, and the Leewards didn't get a point, losing all their matches. So it's been a very good competition. As Clyde Butts said, more runs could have been scored by the teams, but in the end, Jamaica romping home to take the trophy and dethroning Barbados. We now look forward to the 50-over tournament, which starts on Thursday right here in Guyana. Stay with us, keep in tuned. We'll be back with more live streaming from the Guyana National Stadium at Providence. On behalf of the entire commentary team, Clyde Butts, John Ramsing, Mikuwanya Israel, Sean Devers, Inderjeet Prasad, I'm Matthew Kisun saying goodbye from Providence, and do enjoy your evening.